Hey, what's up? It's your girl Amanda Wilson, back again with another message that bubbles in the soul, travels up to the heart, and I'm my mouth to you guys. You know, when I think about, how life is and what people go through and what they deal with, I think about how in today's society we have so much to say via social media. We have so much to say to communicate to our peers through social media. We have trained our children to be technological robots that lack the empathy to communicate face to face with their peers. We encourage kids nowadays to get Facebooks. We encourage kids nowadays to get Twitters and Netflix, and we encourage them to get all these social accounts, Kick. We don't encourage them to have humanistic interaction. We're constantly binding them down with technological rules that we forget that the humanistic approach was just as effective as it was in the 80s, the 90s, and the decades before. Nowadays, people are saying that the decades before the 90s and the 80s and the 70s produced a better grade of kids than the ones we are now because they're basically technological robots, they say. But all I want to emphasize and encourage you to do is don't close that gap between a relationship where you have that face-to-face parental interaction with your children. Don't bridge the gap between what technology is saying and what you're saying and come to a middle ground that the old-fashioned parental way is just as effective as technology. We have to be careful not to let technology raise our children these days. Because now kids are not relying more on TV and technological aspects to inform them of what's going on. They're relying more on technological teachings than they are on parental teachings. Parents these days are saying that they're lost for words to communicate with their child because the only way to do it is to shoot a text message off to them to say, go clean your room. Or shoot a text message off to them on the computer or Facebook to say, get off Facebook. Or a computer interaction to communicate with them from the other room. Nowadays, they're not even going outside to play and be interacting with their friends because they're rather send a text that says, what's up? Or talk to you later, TTYL. Used to be a time where kids can go outside and just interact and play and live, breathe, and understand that humanistic contact and how important it is to society. Think about this, ponder this. If you took away all the technological gadgets from a child's room and a child's life, and put a friend right there next to them where they know how to effectively communicate face to face. We're not saying that technology is all bad. We're just saying that don't forget about the humanistic approach. Remember, your kids need your humanistic touch more than anything. So sometimes, parents, when you're at a dinner table, do just that. Be at the dinner table and just communicate with each other. Tell each other you love them. I've witnessed so many families sit at a table and each of them have a computer, a cell phone, writing and texting other people while they're at the table, where they're losing that humanistic communication. It's okay every now and then to have technology, but don't let technology drive your family apart. It's nothing worse than when you're sitting in the bed with a loved one or a partner and all they can think about is Twitter or the phone and the Facebook, and they're paying more attention over to the phone than they are the person that's laying next to them, or the parents are paying so much to the computer and the phone and to what they're doing on technological gadgets that they forget that their child is right there. And when they are face to face, they forget how to communicate because technology has driven such a wedge between them. I encourage you today to be motivated to, go into your child's room to say, I love you, and talk to them. Kids, go to your parents and just put technology aside and say, you know what, I'm just going to talk to my parents today. It's the humanistic touch and handwritten sentiments and just to say, hey, how you doing? Is worth a lot more when it's done off technology. You can follow me on all social sites. Amanda214U3 on Twitter. MandeeWilson on Twitter. Amanda214U3 on Instagram. And you can follow me on Facebook as well. Support the vision. If it's truly on your soul, and this message resonates with you, please like and pass it on. Because I know somebody out there needs to hear my voice, needs to hear this message. And remember, one love. Stay motivated, stay dedicated, stay educated, and you'll be elevated. Amanda Wilson signing off. One love.